Hey guys, it's Samantha Studebaker Carl here coming at you from beautiful Southwest Georgia. I was just driving along, had some thoughts I want to share with you about personal responsibility. And, the reason why this topic is coming up is actually for a couple different reasons. Is that, this past Saturday, on our Saturday morning mastermind, we were discussing the topic of, how to get the qualities of a successful person. We're studying the book, The New Psycho-Cybernetics, and we're on, I think we're in chapter 8, where it talks about these different success qualities that leaders have, and how is if you can identify what those qualities are, and then you can actually teach yourself how to become that, then you can become a leader and become successful in your life, right? And so the reason I kind of have some thoughts is that on Saturday we're talking about charity and how when you are charitable toward other people, that is a major key to being a successful individual as a leader, just in general as a person. And when it was talking about that, it was suggesting it along the lines of being charitable towards people as far as your attitude, not so much on a financial standpoint, but as the way that you deal with people on a daily basis. And for example, if you're driving down the road and somebody cuts you off on the road, they dart in front of you for whatever reason, is that instead of becoming angry and frustrated and mad at them, is to, instead have a charitable attitude of knowing, okay, there must be something going on with that person. They just didn't see me. They didn't, whatever. There's something going on with them that it doesn't have a dang thing to do with me. They're not purposefully trying to cut me off. They are just going about their business, and I just happen to be there, right? Okay? So if you have that kind of an attitude versus getting mad and all of a sudden you have that road rage also, then that is one way of being charitable toward other people. Now, another thing that kind of came up with me today while I was driving along is last night on a mastermind for a few of my team members and we were actually talking about a technique called emotional EFT, emotional something tapping. I'm sorry, I don't remember what it's called. I've heard of it. I'm sure you have, EFT. And anyway, our team leader was sharing some techniques for how to, overcome emotional blocks in your life, or just blocks in general that are keeping you from getting the results that you want, right? And so on this session, we were all kind of explaining or sharing some of our own emotional blocks with him. And, in that discussion, there was I think there was 5 or 6 of us, and we all had something to share. Well, our team leader, he was sitting there and, kind of taking this information in and and writing notes and that sort of thing. And one of the other people were like, hey, Tom, you probably don't have any blocks, do you? You're so successful. And I want to give props to Tom, because what Tom said is completely along the lines of exactly what we're kind of talking about here. Because what he said was, the truth is that if we have come into each other's life in some way, shape, or form where, if you're having these emotional blocks, then I must be having them in some way, shape, or form also. They must be inside of me, because things don't show up in your life if they are not a reflection of something inside of yourself, right? And, and that was something that he was kind of talking about. And so I wanted to give him props on that, because that makes complete sense. I've done a lot of studying in a number of different methods of personal development, how to improve yourself, how to get better results in life, how to just become the better version of you. And the biggest thing that it talks about is that you have to take personal responsibility for everything that is showing up in your life, okay? Every single thing. We've all had these experiences where there's certain people that'll be in our lives, whether it's a family member, a spouse, a sister, a brother, a mother, a father, a mother-in-law, or a coworker, or a manager, or something along that lines, where that person will just rub you the wrong way, right? And so when that happens, when you realize, when you can take 100% responsibility for your life and everything that shows up in your life, then you will be able to look inside yourself and understand, kind of dig down in there and say, okay, why is this person showing up in my life? What is it that this person, this situation, this coworker, whatever, why is it that that keeps showing up in my life? And that is an indicator of things that you personally need to work on. Okay? Does that make sense? Hopefully what we're kind of hopefully you kind of get an idea of what I'm getting at. So, and along that lines of personal responsibility, and the reason why everything in your life has something to do with you is because you are the center of your own universe. Everything that goes on in your life revolves around you. Now, we all like to say, the world doesn't revolve around you, blah, blah, blah. The truth is, it does. Because everything that happens in your life, you're there, right? It can't, if you aren't experiencing it, it's not part of your life. And so if you are experiencing it, you must be a cause of it in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, it wouldn't show up. And let me just kind of give you another example. Going back to the driving out there and people cutting you off and that kind of thing. That doesn't happen for me very often. It's very, very rare that somebody will cut me off in such a way that it gets me upset or frustrates me, because I realize that, I sometimes am in a hurry, and I sometimes forget to use my turn signal, things like that. Sometimes I slam on my brakes. I was just driving down the road on the way to drop my daughter off at work this evening, and all these thoughts are kind of going on in my head. And I look up and I'm sitting at a green light. I've got all this traffic behind me, and I'm sitting at this green light. The traffic's gone way on ahead of me. And what's funny is I did have a huge line of traffic behind me and nobody honked. Why do you think that is? It's because if I had been sitting behind me, I wouldn't have honked either, because I realize that we all have our own things going on in our worlds that, sometimes you get distracted when you're driving, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Shit happens, right? And so if I have that kind of attitude toward other people, then I experience that same thing from other people as well. So guys, I just wanted to make this video and talk a little bit about personal responsibility, how that relates to you in your life, how that when you can let go of the things that really frustrate you, really upset you, and that are things that really are, kind of digging in and they keep showing up in your life and making you upset and frustrated, is when you can let those things go, or dig in and figure out what it is the true cause of it, then you will have a much more pleasant experience in your life as well. And also, that is, again, back to the whole thing of being charitable towards others. When you can be charitable towards others, that means you're being charitable towards yourself, because everything that's out there in the world is some representation of something inside of you. And so remember that. So with that, guys, have a great day, and I'll see you in let's see here. That's it for this video. If you want to learn more about me, what I'm doing, what's up with me in my world, click the link below this video, and connect with me. Connect with me on Facebook. Connect with me on Google+, wherever you happen to be. If you like this video, click like, share it, subscribe to my channel, all those kinds of things. And with that, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.